Robert Downey Jr., or RDJ for short, is an American actor and producer. He is famously known for being the actor behind Iron Man. He has made a big name for himself and has starred in many big movies like Sherlock Holmes and The Avengers. Robert Downey Jr. has a net worth of over $300 million, which is amazing considering his rough and rocky past. The famous actor was born on April 4, 1965 in Manhattan, New York. RDJ had a lot of success in his youth, however, that was his downfall as it led to multiple years of drug abuse and many legal issues. However, he still managed to turn his life around and is one of the best comeback stories in Hollywood. Today we will be looking at 10 uncommon facts about Robert Downey Jr. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Number 10. He released an album called The Futurist. One thing you might not know about Robert Downey Jr. is that he is a singer as well as an actor. He released his debut album, The Futurist, in 2004 after Rehab. Despite RDJ being a famous actor, his album was a flop and didn't manage to get enough sales. Only 16,000 copies were sold in the first week, and he ranked 121 on the Billboard charts. In 2006, RDJ said he won't release another album and would rather spend the spare time with his family. Number 9. RDJ was born into a family of actors. Robert Downey Jr. is the son of the famous movie director Robert Downey Sr. and actress Elsie Downey. RDJ's first on-screen appearance was as a puppy in his father's film Pound in 1970. His parents were both very famous and successful movie stars, which kickstarted RDJ's career in acting. Number 8. He dropped out of high school to pursue acting. RDJ dropped out of high school at only 17 years old. He went to Santa Monica High School in California and quit to pursue his acting career. He moved to New York and struggled through many part-time jobs while looking for acting gigs. RDJ used to work in restaurants and even performed in shows to earn money. This shows how hard RDJ worked to get where he is now. Number 7. His father introduced him to drugs when he was only 6. One very shocking fact is that RDJ's father gave him a marijuana joint to smoke when he was only 6. This kickstarted RDJ's battle with addiction and all the trouble that was caused because of it. RDJ was addicted to drugs by 8, and the addiction got worse the older he got. Robert Downey Jr. said he would get drunk every night and make phone calls in pursuit of drugs. He also said there was a lot of pot and coke around the house when he was young, and that he and his dad would do it together. His father said he deeply regrets his actions and realizes how it was a stupid mistake to give him drugs. Number 6. He practices martial arts. RDJ is a martial artist and spends a lot of his free time practicing Wing Chun. RDJ started martial arts in 2000 and credits it as the main source of strength that helped him overcome his crazy drug addictions. In 2003, RDJ had a sudden realization that made him take action on his bad addiction and threw all the drugs he had into the ocean. This helped him break the addiction cycle and the end of his drug abuse. Number 5. He never has to pay for Burger King in his life. RDJ has unlimited Burger King for life. This is because he credits Burger King for saving his life. The story goes like this. RDJ was driving a car with a lot of drugs and decided to stop at a Burger King because he was hungry. It was at this moment where the actor had an epiphany. The actor said the burger was such a disgusting burger that made him believe something bad was going to happen. The actor then said he tossed all the drugs out into the ocean and got cleaned up. RDJ thanks Burger King for saving his life. The American cheeseburger scene from Iron Man was a special tribute to Burger King saving his life. Would you want unlimited Burger King for the rest of your life? Let me know in the comments below. Number 4. Sean Penn kicked his door down to take him to rehab. In 1994, RDJ returned to alcohol, cocaine, and ecstasy despite claiming that he was clean. A year later, he tried heroin for the first time, and RDJ finally understood that he was out of control. However, he couldn't stop it. Robert Downey Jr. frequently bounced back and forth from rehab and couldn't stop his drug addiction. He said most of his acting performances were disappointing. Actor and friend Sean Penn saw that RDJ was wasting his opportunity and life and decided to do something about it. At one point, he kicked down RDJ's door and drove him to the rehab center. Sean Penn said, "You have 2 reputations. I think you know what both of them are, and I think you would do well to get rid of one of those reputations. If you don't, it will get rid of the other one." Number 3. He has been arrested twice. One day, Robert Downey Jr. got pulled over for speeding, and when the officers realized he was naked and hallucinating, he was arrested. He was throwing imaginary rats at the officers, which shows how off the rails he was. RDJ's first arrest happened on June 23, 1996, when he was pulled over again for speeding along the Pacific Coast in Highway Malibu. During the arrest, a small number of drugs were found. RDJ's second arrest was on July 16, 1996. While awaiting trial, he wandered into his neighbor's house in Malibu, stripped to his underwear, and slept in the empty bed of their 11-year-old son. They called the police after trying to wake RDJ, but did not press any charges. Number 2. His time in jail was tough. Robert Downey Jr.'s first time in jail was rough because he was involved in a lot of fights. He reportedly woke up in a pool of his own blood twice. RDJ was the target of many fights because he was a celebrity, and these fights resulted in the actor receiving many cuts and bruises. After 2 months, he received a very bad cut from a fight with 3 other inmates and had to be moved to solitary confinement. The actor was released after spending 113 days in prison. Robert Downey Jr. was meant to spend 3 years in prison, but was pardoned after serving less than 1 year. Number 1. Robert got paid $75 million for Endgame. Robert Downey Jr. was paid $500,000 for his role in Iron Man back in 2008. However, in Avengers Endgame, he was given a fee of $20 million up front and later paid $55 million as part of a back-end deal that got him 8% of the film's profit. This makes his total payout a ridiculous $75 million. What do you think about Robert Downey Jr.'s insane life? Did you find out something new about RDJ? If you did, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.